This conference will now be recorded.
Thanks, Michelle. So I see we have Terry O'Connell on the line. Hi, Mary, Carol, Heather, Debbie. We have past president Johnny Abbas. We have chair of the advisory, Andre Boudreau, chair of membership, Ron Cluett. Of course, Michelle, our executive director, Sarah in the background there. And there's somebody else on with the name ML. Just wondering who that is.
It should.
Oh,
There's
Margie
Margie.
just joined us. Hi, Margie.
Hi.
Margie is our chair of the Peter Wilson Dinner. Well, I'm going to kick us off. I'm Amine, president of Family Business Atlantic, and thank you guys for joining us today. The purpose of our call is to really give you a fulsome understanding of what your membership with Family Business Atlantic includes, and really just an overview of how you can benefit from all of the offerings. We're still working and living together with COVID, and this family business connection and this peer group connection is just as important now as it was even in the beginning of March. It's been very clear that our association has been able to provide a lot of benefits to entrepreneurs and families in business. As during COVID, we just added 20 new members, and we've added over 100 new connections to our database. So these offerings, we know that the public has been able to really take advantage of it. While we discuss the benefits of your membership this morning, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute your mic or just interrupt whoever's speaking, or you can write your question in the chat box feature, and we'll be checking that as we go along here. So as you all know, family business is a very unique environment. It has a lot of unique challenges. With FBA, our goal is to really create meaningful connections with peers, advisors, and really celebrate and learn from the successes of others within our vibrant community. We have a few members of our board who are online here who's going to be speaking more about the peer and advisory value that we offer. And also we'll have April talking about the wonderful events and programming that we offer throughout the year. All of these initiatives that we have taken and continue to undertake, they're really to ensure that you, our members, become more profitable and more successful in your business. I wanted to highlight just a few of the initiatives that I really believe create value to our members, and some of these are actually the reasons that I joined about 10 years ago. For those who don't know me, I work with the family business Cresco. We are in home construction and community development. My father and his partner own the business, and I came in as sales and marketing, and I've really been able to grow within my own family business through Family Business Atlantic, as I've taken advantage of a lot of the programming, and also have made some really great connections with advisors. My family business advisor is actually on the line. That's Dr. Margaret Humphreys, and we've been working with her to establish shareholder council, a joint family business council. We're in the midst of creating policies that hopefully will last for generations to come. I am second generation, and it's been very helpful to have an advisor along the way as we work through succession planning and with the expansion of our company. But back to a few reasons why I feel we offer a lot of value to our members. I find that we really respond to emerging issues with the appropriate relevant programming. It's really easy to keep up to date with what's going on within the business community if you're receiving our updates through our newsletter, or if you've liked us on social media or LinkedIn. We're constantly posting events and updating our members with the relevant news. We're really good at supporting early stage companies with their businesses and family family issues. And we do this through programming and also through courses, which we'll talk a little bit more in depth about. Um, we continue to provide forums with our advisors to connect and share with families. And during COVID, we've been really successful at offering the Staying Connected webinar series. To date, we have had 34 webinars. That has been a great platform to interface our advisors with our members with. And all of these webinars are online. So if there's a topic of interest, I definitely encourage you to go on the website, see the list of the webinars, and you can watch them there. In the early days of COVID, our association really shifted our attention to online programming and to keeping our membership current on the changing financial packages offered from the three levels of government. And we're going to continue to do that, as we found that has been very helpful and definitely relevant to what people want to hear and know about. So all of these initiatives, again, are to help us all prosper and grow as a family and as a business community. I also wanted to talk a little bit about family business in general and who our members are. We have many members, with a few of you on the line. I find that a lot of people interested in joining our association, they ask, who belongs and really what is a family business? Some are unsure if they even are a family business. And I like to explain that you are if you're a business that involves family members in any way, you are a family business. More formally, if you have a business that is owned or funded or supported by an employee who is a family member, so you are involving family business members. If you are a single person starting off a business and you are an entrepreneur, you are a family business. So some of our members are long-time businesses who are in their 10th generation, and some are individuals just getting started. So we really like to support everyone in our business community. You may have met some of our members through our online webinars, or if you attended any of our face-to-face events prior to March. But just to give you an idea of who they are, they really span from all sectors and sizes across the region. And we have two streams of members. We have our family business members, and we also have our advisors. To date, we have 110 companies, which obviously involves many individuals, because your membership is not only for you, but it's for everybody within your company. And out of those 110 companies, 24 of them are our trusted advisors. So we have a large pool of advisors. We have a list of them on our website, which Andre will be speaking more about there. But really, again, our advisors are there to help our members with any questions they have at any point within their business development. So I don't want to steal the show, so I think if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm going to hand it over now to Ron Cluett, who's going to speak a little bit more about membership.
Thank you, Amine. So just some introductions. I am Ron Cluett. I'm with Cluett Insurance, and we are your prototypical family business. I work with my father and my brother, and I have a sister who actually just started her own business about a year ago. She left a career, 10 years with the provincial government to launch her own business. So probably like most of you on the chat here, a lot of the conversations we have around the dinner table revolve around business. So I am like-minded with many of you, and about 10 years ago, I joined the Family Business Association. At that time, we were called CAFE, but those who are new to us would know us only as Family Business. Those who are come from the older stream would know us as CAFE. So it's something that is very important to me. Obviously, working within a family unit in a family business, there's many nuances that is pretty hard to describe to maybe your network of friends. I tell a lot of people I know that we're kind of a government town, so a lot of the issues I have in my day-to-day work life isn't really relatable to a lot of the people I hang out with. So the Family Business Association has been a very valuable tool for me to be able to share some of the experiences I'm going through, and it's brought me um, quite a bit of joy actually to be able to find like-minded people to vent to some days and to get their opinions and experiences. Um, the second part, besides the peer-to-peer group, which I'm going to get into a minute, I'm just looking at Heather Peach over there with Stanhope Simpson. So the great part is besides being a family business, which Heather Peach is probably in very similar shoes to myself, we get to run into each other at events and not only share our family business story, but also our industry story. So, besides the peer group experience, which we typically do not have people in like-minded businesses in the same peer group for confidentiality and privacy reasons, but to be able to run into people maybe that you share an industry with at our events and from a high level to be able to share some experiences has also been a very great resource and tool for myself. So to get into the peer group offering, it's obviously one of our core offerings with the Family Business Association. We have right now 6 established peer groups. We've had 5 for quite a while. We established a new one about 2 years ago, and we're in the process of establishing our 7th group, which we hope to launch in the upcoming month or maybe 2 months, sooner than later. I know Michelle's and I are working on this right now. Um, Obviously, most of our peer groups meet in person. COVID has changed that, and I'm actually looking at Mark Zerka down there, and I think Mike Levins is on the call as well. These 2 individuals are in my peer group, and we've met virtually over the last couple months, and we actually had our first in-person meeting last month, and we're supposed to be meeting again tomorrow in person. So it's definitely nice to get back to seeing some of these people face to face, but to have these folks over the COVID months meet virtually was amazing. I know everyone's businesses basically have got flipped upside down. A lot of people were very unsure what the future held, and to be able to have these individuals to bounce ideas off of, to hear some of their thoughts, and to think, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And I know Amine and I talk about this a lot, is we look at these peer groups as our own personal board of directors, and I'm very fortunate in my peer group that I have a great I guess quote unquote board of directors where I can bounce ideas and get their experiences and have them share some of their thoughts. So like I said, we have 6 peer groups working on our 7th. Each peer group is made up from 8 to 10 individuals. These individuals are from diverse backgrounds. We have first generation, second generation, third generation businesses. We have male, female. We basically have it all in each peer group, and the whole idea is to have that collective sounding board from a diverse group of people. And we have one individual in my group. I think he's turning 82, 83 years old, and this individual has been in business for 60 years. They don't really need to be in a peer group anymore, but they are happy to share their time, their experiences, and their wisdom with us. So I know people like Mark and Mike on this call. We are very fortunate to have people like that stick around and be able to help us. So I think a lot of the reasons why individuals join a peer group, like I said, is I think we're kind of a government town, but there are a lot of entrepreneurs, is basically to share experiences. I know a lot of people might feel alone in some of the positions that they're in. So when you get into these peer groups, these environments, they're a very nurturing environment. They're a very safe environment. One of our core beliefs in our peer groups is that they're highly confidential, highly private. So anything said in these peer groups stay within the peer groups. Privacy and confidentiality is probably one of our utmost core offerings in the peer group, so that people can feel safe in sharing what is happening in their own personal lives. Because I think we all know that what happens in your personal life also reflects directly in your business life, and vice versa. You know, the two are completely intertwined with each other when you're an entrepreneur. Um, our groups typically meet once a month. I know some groups might take a month or two off in the summertime. Our group in particular will take a month off in the summertime, and we'll have kind of a casual meeting during the month of December to kind of celebrate the holidays. But we still, from a pretty high level point of view, you know, we go around a table and check in and see how everyone is doing. So each meeting typically can last anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours. Every peer group takes on its own identity, but typically there is a format where we will go around a room and everyone will share an update of what's happening in their personal life and their business life. If someone has a pressing topic or concern that they need to talk about or do a presentation on, we will allow that individual to occupy more time. Um, I know Andre is going to be getting into it here in a few minutes, but you know, we have some of our advisors. Our advisors are a tremendous asset to the organization. They will come in if you invite them in to maybe talk on a particular topic. We've launched recently an advisor month where we are placing more emphasis on having our advisors come in to each peer group. Typically, we're looking at the month of February right now. So to be able to have these advisors and come in and share um, some thoughts on a particular topic that's important to the peer group, whether it's, you know, anything related to tax, maybe COVID, some of the programs, HR, you know, we pretty much cover the gambit with what our advisors can offer us. So we're very, very fortunate there. Another unique value proposition to our peer groups is that each peer group gets a $1,000 subsidy from the association. That subsidy is meant to bring the peer groups closer together. So we have quite a few of our peer groups that might bring in a professional speaker on a particular topic, and there's funds available to bring that person in. Whether the peer group wants to go and do some kind of a retreat to create team building within the peer group. Um, our peer groups that do exist right now, I can tell you they're very, very, very low turnover in them. And a lot of our peer groups, especially the first 5, 6 peer groups, have been established for quite a period of time. I know Margie's been a part of one, I think, for a little while now. And Johnny, for sure, I think Johnny's in one of the original peer groups. If he's, I'm looking for him to see if he's still on the line here. There he is, right there, actually. Um, so, you know, the camaraderie that these peer groups bring, the closer you can come together, the more people open up. The more you open up, the more you get out of it. And I know Amine and I have chatted about that in the past before. Is, you know, once you hit that level of comfort, and you can open up, is when you really start getting a lot of value from the peer group and your peer group members. So, like I said, confidentiality is kind of one of our core offerings in the peer group. So that's highly important. You know, some of the things we might talk about in a peer group would be things that are HR related, succession planning related. We really cover the gamut with that. So our peer groups are really core to the association. It's not all we offer. Obviously, we have a lot of programming, and I'm looking at April, who's going to be chatting about that in a second there. But to meet on a month-to-month basis with like-minded individuals, to have that resource and that outlet to bounce ideas off of, like I said earlier, Amine and I refer to it as a board of directors. It's, for me personally, and you know, our programming is terrific. It was one of the main reasons I joined the association, and it's one of the main reasons I continue to be a part of this association. So on that note, I will flip things over to April, and she can tell you about our programming.
I'm on mute. Wouldn't be an online meeting if I didn't start it off by trying to talk to you while on mute. Can everybody hear me? Okay, good. I don't know if anyone's following along in the chat, but I just didn't want this comment to get lost that John has made a comment that he's been in his peer group for over 20 years now, which he's found to be incredibly worthwhile, both personally and professionally. So my name's April McLeod. I work for a family business. We have a father, 2 sons, an aunt, a great aunt, and then we have some other a husband and wife teams in the company as well. So I joined family business 3 years ago, and I've been a member and am a member of a number of different organizations and associations, and this has by far been the most beneficial network that I have joined in terms of business development opportunities, networking, just getting to meet new people, making new friends. So I'm really happy to be able to tell you about some of the things that we've been up to pre-COVID and post-COVID. So we, as Amine had talked about earlier and Ron mentioned, we have a number of networking events. So we have a signature event, a Peter Wilson dinner, and the Family Business Awards luncheon. Now we've postponed our Peter Wilson dinner just because of COVID until June of next year. We have taken all of our programming and put it online, though we have had the opportunity to do some in-person events like September 25th, and then we're doing another one next week, which I'll talk about here in a sec. We did the golf tournament September 25th. That was so much fun, and it was so nice to be out and to see people again. And on October 15th, next Thursday, we have an awards luncheon. We're going to honor business leaders Eileen Reed of AP Reed Insurance, Nivelle Provo of Smooth Meal Prep, and Dr. Bob London, who will get our very first Advisor of the Year award for all the work he's provided to his students at Dal and through his family consulting work. We also offer complimentary programming with guest speakers, workshop leaders, government leaders as well. Dominique mentioned that as also. Things that matter to you, your employees, your family members, and your business. And we have a really good relationship with the Department of Labor and Advanced Ed, and we've been able to provide opportunities for training. And some of the courses we've offered are like digital marketing, leadership, and HR best practices. And I know Mark Zerka is here on the call, and he's one of the workshop leaders. All of those programs are listed on our website, so check back to familybusinessatlantic.ca frequently. And like Michelle said, engage on social media so that you get those reminders. And maybe, Michelle, if you want to put that URL in the chat box so people can just click on it and maybe bookmark it. People still do that. As a member of the association, you receive access to educational resources through our trusted advisor network. So we really look at who our trusted advisors are and what all the offerings that they have for our membership. And we use that when we're building the programming. And so Andre is here on the call, and he is our advisor chair. He's going to talk more about that now. So over to you, Andre.
Thanks, April. And good morning, everyone. I'm Andre Boudreau. I was a partner with PricewaterhouseCoopers and took early retirement June 30th, 2019, and actually started the company. And I guess I'm now considered a family business myself. My other half has a consulting company. So here we are sitting at home doing our work from the house. So I'm not sure if I'm ready for a peer-to-peer, or maybe the peer-to-peer is not ready for me. Anyway, maybe one of these days I'll have a chat about joining the peer-to-peer group. I took over as the chair of the advisory committee. It was David Reed, Cox Palmer. He invited me over and for one session, and I attended. I said, this was great. And then at the end of that session, he said, Andre, you're going to be the chair. I didn't know it was going to be that quick. It's been about 6 years, I believe. It was the old cafe, as Ron had mentioned. and we did go through a transition. And the offering that's made by FBA is superior to what Cafe had offered. And really, what I want to talk about is the value proposition of the advisors and what they really do, what they truly do, and what they bring to this network. And Amine has mentioned that there's two types of members. So the first member obviously is the family business, and the second one is advisors. And the advisors, there's CPA firms, there's lawyers, there's technology, wealth management, there's insurance companies, HR, PR, banks. It's a full gamut of advisors, and April alluded to them as being trusted advisors. And if you think about this, one CPA firm, might have over a couple of hundred employees who are actual members. So when you take the 30, I think there was approximately 30 or a little less than 30, there's probably, you have access to over thousands of advisors who can deal with subject matters that may be important to the family business. So we have built this relationship between the family business and the advisors, and it's very well respected. There's no hard selling on behalf of the advisors to the family business, and that's key. We're not allowed to do that. So the way we provide value and how we get value back is the advice, the guidance that we provide, and we do it through a number of vehicles. April's already alluded to the programming. Most of the programming is done by our advisors. Ron's talked about, and I love it, Love Your Advisor Month. That's February, happens to be, and I think it was Mike who came up with this. I thought it was great, have an advisor come into the peer-to-peer group. And really, if you think about it, in any business, you're going to have a matter that's really pressing. And if you can have a subject matter expert to help you kind of get deeper on that particular issue or opportunity, whatever it may be, that really, it just provides the family businesses again with a different perspective that you would normally not have. Advisors, if you look at all the events that we put on, it's the advisors who are the sponsors. So Peter Wilson is TD. I think Grant Thornton's in there. M&P's big. Like these advisors not only give advice and guidance, but they also give back by being key sponsors, and that's that's very important. The big thing over 2020, and we're having an AGM. I think it's October 15th, Michelle. And Michelle did a good job of writing up what I'm supposed to say at the AGM as what did the advisors do over 2020, and March 15th. When we declared a state of emergency, things changed, and we came together, April and Ron, Amine, Michelle, and others, and said, how do we stay connected with family businesses during COVID when you can't even leave your house, basically? And we pulled it together. Great programming. The advisors stepped up. There was it was everything from, how do you maneuver through the mass emergency measures, financial measures? How could you access those? And we had lots of subject matter experts talk about those. And the Staying Connected webinar series was a great success. And I think it was either Ron or April had mentioned another 20 new family businesses joined because of that. I'm not sure what COVID's going to bring. We live in a bubble. It looks like, when I looked at the last map, it looks like the rest of Canada is just going through phase 2. We're in a bubble. At one point in time, the Premier had said that he was going to open up, but 2 days ago, he said he's not going to even do it. So, and we may continue with the Connected series, April. And again, we look for relevant sessions, and I can think of a few, and I may have to sit down. I'm supposed to sit down with April and maybe, and it's relevant for not just family businesses, but for entrepreneurs. So the second thing that we're looking at unrolling the latter part of 2020-21 is the entrepreneurial series. And the entrepreneurial series is going to be sessions that are geared towards entrepreneurs, not the family business, the entrepreneur itself, and how to make the entrepreneur more successful. How do you grow your business? How do you grow that family business? And it's the series would be over a couple of years. So when you join, the thought is you would join. It's still part of FBA or Family Business Association, but the offering is going to be very different. So this is a preliminary programming. We're working with Michelle. We're trying to establish, because we would have to have this. We would have to have people oversee it. We're looking at maybe somewhere between 50 and 100 participants. So that offering needs to be financed or funded. So we'll let you know when it's complete, Michelle. Hopefully we can unveil it sometime in 2021. The other one that we did during 2020 is we had the what we would call the BDC, the BD series. It's a legacy series, and this is where you have aging entrepreneurs really struggling with the whole idea of a business transition. And a business transition could be a succession to the next generation. It could be that there are no family members who want to take it on. So how do you exit? It was, we held 2 sessions. I think there was in total between the two, somewhere around 70 people attending. We had some really powerful local business leaders who provided their own perspective, some thought leadership around, and these are the next generation who's leading their businesses. And they talked about ownership versus leadership. And we had people as Emily Trevino, there was Kim Conrad, Leslie Wilson, Stephen Emerson, and they actually did a great job. They were panelists. I was the facilitator, but it led into why do aging owners struggle with the whole concept of moving their business either to the next generation or selling. And my business, which is Forward Focus Consulting, that's what I do. And it's very interesting, the reasons as to why people are hesitant, where owners are hesitant. And I hate to say this, but it's predominantly older gentlemen, not females. The female owners seem to have their stuff together. The older males, not so much. Anyway, it was interesting what came out of that, and it was a bit of an eye opener as to why owners struggle with trying to leave their business. And it's their baby. It's been their cash flow. It's been it's been with them. But COVID has really changed that, and that's one of the things, April, that I want to chat about is what has COVID done to family businesses? What has COVID done with the owner, the aging entrepreneur? So I think what we need to do is some of the topics that the advisors might talk about is going to be what has COVID done to your business? And there's lots about can you pivot? Can you change? Can you grow? Are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Is the government going to continue to support us out to the summer of 2020? What happens when that actually stops? So those are the things that that we'll be looking at. February, again, we're going to do, Michelle, we're actually going to do the advisor February, I guess it would be the advisor month. And I think we took it through February into March, bring them into the peer-to-peer groups, and really think about, what are those subject matters that are pressing that you'd like to have. And again, our advisors, well, we only have less than 30 members, but they represent thousands. So we can draw upon those firms to find the right subject matter expert. The thing that, and I believe it was Almane who mentioned this, our bylaws limited our advisors to 33% of the total membership. So if we're at 110, I think that's where we're at, 33s, so we're at 33%. We could have up to 33, 35 advisors. If we're at 25 or 26 or 27, we don't necessarily just take on any advisor. It has to be strategic. I think we have enough CPA firms and probably enough law firms. And so what we try to do is we try to take a look at what's the gap? What are we missing? Are we missing a particular area that's important to the family businesses, where they could actually join and they could put on a session about a topic that's relevant to the family businesses. So again, if you're your advisor, there's a little bit of a different process. You go on, you sign up, and then it goes to Ron, and then Ron and his team look at, is it a firm or an organization that's actually going to fill a gap? The listing of all of our advisors, and I would ask you to actually go on the website, take a look. All of the advisors, for the most part, all of the advisors have indicated that they would meet with the family business, kind of like for an hour session without charge. I know each of you probably have advisors, but you may find that you don't have, that you're missing an advisor because of a particular subject matter. So most of our advisors have indicated that they would attend peer-to-peer groups, they would meet with a family business, and they would do that for the first hour, kind of gratuitous. If something develops, that's great, that's the whole purpose. So anyway, that's the kind of the value proposition for advisors, how we work in hand with our family businesses. So I'd like to hand it, I don't know if there's any questions for me, but I'll hand it back to Almane. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. That was a great overview there. Before I open up to the floor, I was wondering if Mark Zerka, if you'd like to say a few words. Mark has been not only a member, but a sponsor and a course instructor. And I was wondering if you'd like to speak maybe a little bit about your personal experience and with the benefits you have had being a member of our association, and maybe touch a little bit on the courses that we're offering. I know many of us personally, we not only personally, but employees, family members, we're always looking for continued education. And I think that that's something that sometimes gets not seen, is these great courses that we offer. We offer many of them. I know Mary on the line. Mary has also taught one of our courses. So Mark, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Almane, and good morning, everyone. Yeah, I've been with the family business, I think now for more than 2 years, and it's been an exceptional journey, right? Just I don't like to compare by naming others, but I am part of other associations as well, and I think this one is the most engaging and the most genuine, to be honest. Right, this is where I feel that there is really a care from the organization to make things better. And so my involvement started as a member, and then yes, I sponsored one of the events. I think it was in 2018, and yeah, over time, I started to get engaged more and more, and now I am teaching courses through the workplace education. We have one on October 20th about marketing. Honestly, Amane, I think we almost have a full class already, and we are probably planning to open a second round just to see if we have enough people to join. So, and as I said in the chat, we have 2 persons here who took the previous programs with me. And as I said, if they are still here, this means that I didn't, scare them. So it was good. I really enjoyed it, and also I am part of a peer group. And as Ron said, we are in the same peer group, and it's another family member, right? It's not only a peer group, they are friends. Like, we are comfortable together, we almost know everything about each other, but honestly, no one outside of that room knows what we know, and this is what is really amazing. And it's like, the more, and this is what last time I was talking to Michelle and Amane about this, I said, the more you give to this kind of organizations, the more you get out of it. Many people are just joining, paying the membership fees and hoping just to see some news and show their face once a year. This is not really how you will get the benefit out of it. So I don't want to take a long time, but this is my experience, and I think that we are going to, and we are planning more even engagement with the Family Business Association. And I don't think this is going to stop anytime soon, because I see it, and even from a private business, because at the end of the day, we are all looking and saying, okay, what's happening to our businesses over here? And I can tell you that if I cannot say that all the engagements brought something to the business, but I can tell you for sure that over the time, some of the business that I got is because I was engaged with the Family Business Association at some point, in any form, in any kind. And then it might not materialize in the same minute. And every time I say to people, when you meet new people, don't start with a sales pitch, right? It's all about who you are, genuine relationships, and things will happen. And this is what I'm seeing, and this is my short summary, Amani, for about this.
Thank you so much, Mark. I'd like to open it up to the floor. Does anybody have any questions, or even if not questions, feel free to share any testimonials about being a member and what you've gained and benefited from thus far.
Hi, I'd like to take a moment and chime in. I'm Martin Humphreys, for those of you who don't know me. My husband and I have been involved with the family business since, I don't know, it's probably 2009, so quite a while. And I'm in the position where I work with family businesses, but I've also worked in a family business. And I grew up in a family business, and I studied family businesses. And I want to pick up on something that Mark said, which is around the quality of the relationships in this organization. And I want to say, it's almost like the level of rawness, but it's a level of caring. And it's a level of, you know what, we're in a business, we are front and center. This is our livelihood. I'm supporting the people I love. When the business goes awry, it brings extra stresses to the household. And when we're just in the normal course of running a business, the problems, I don't want to say problems, but the challenges that we face and the environment that we work in is different, because we work in family business. So when you get together in a room of people and everybody's got that same experience, conversations are different. The atmosphere in the room is different, because everyone's like, we're all from the same planet. And the planet is family business or entrepreneurship, but the planet is, I'm out there and I'm doing it in a different way. And if I'm going to have a pension at the end of the day, guess what? I have to make that pension. My livelihood depends on this, and not in a way that I've kind of I've been able to outsource my future. It's in my own hands. So I think that's one of, when I think of the culture of the organization, it's one of the primary differences that I see in this organization and other organizations. It brings a different mindset. You can tell I'm enthusiastic about it. I have absolutely enjoyed my association with this association, and you know, I encourage all of my clients to join Family Business Atlantic. I talk about it everywhere. So that's my endorsement. I also want to mention the Peter Wilson Dinner. The name came up a couple of times, and that's our premier event. It's a time when we all kind of, you know, polish ourselves off and get a little dressed up and go out to dinner for an enjoyable evening. There's a lot of networking. There's about 500 people come to the dinner every year. We've talked about growing it and the importance of it, and a lot of people have said, you know, I really like the intimacy of it, if you can imagine that 500 people are intimate. But you see that a lot of the same people over and over again, of course, with some growth and some changeover. And it's a unique opportunity to hear from usually, well, a successful family business about the twists and turns in their plot, and how they've grown, how their trees have been pruned or advanced, and you get to hear it from their mouth. So, and these stories aren't readily told in other places. They're pretty special stories to hear. I've had the pleasure of working with a few of the speakers as they're getting ready, and with the help of Michelle and Sarah, who's there in the background too. And Amine and others with the committee. And it's really interesting to see what the speakers put into their presentations and how they think very carefully about what they're going to share semi-publicly, not publicly, but semi-publicly with other people. And remember, it's family business, so they're putting themselves in a position where you can ask questions about the family and the family dynamics as well as the business. And both sides are a pretty interesting story. So the event is special, it's very unique. And I've heard people over and over again after a Peter Wilson dinner, you know, they hang on what the speakers say and they learn something from the speakers. So it's educational. And again, it's got that family business vibe. That's kind of 2 cents worth. And any questions or comments on that, I'm happy to hear them. Hearing some.
The Peter Wilson dinner for my family, it's the only event where we get all of the children there from all ages. I mean, we have like a table, well, we usually have 2 tables, over 15 people, and I find it really engaging for my siblings who do not work in the family business, but bringing them to the Peter Wilson dinner year after year, they're starting to ask a little bit more questions now about business in general. So that's been really helpful. We have Mary on the line. I was wondering if Mary wanted to speak a little bit about her experiences. As I mentioned, she also was a course instructor for us.
Sure. Good morning. Well, I had the privilege of being introduced to family business in the winter. I was teaching a finance program to the members, and then right in the middle of the program, COVID hit. So it was actually very interesting because the finance program is all about looking at strategies around finance, around money management, around cash flow, you know, not focusing on your net income, but your net worth, scaling up wealth. So we were in the middle of it, and the shutdown happened. So it actually, so, you know, I teach about money and our emotions are connected. It brought us together very closely as a group because we really honed in on our businesses and their cash flow and how we were going to handle the lockdown, the initial shock, and then really by the end of the program started talking about how we would as a business manage through next, what we didn't know how long it would be, but now we know it's going to be a while. So the group inspired me to join family business as a member, and that's how I got here. And it was a really great experience for me personally. And I have a banking background, and I'm an entrepreneur myself. I teach a finance course on the side just because it's my passion, and I love being around entrepreneurs. And it was, for me, it was just a win-win. I learned from the people around the table just as much as the content that I'm trying to teach. So yeah, I think those are some of the positives of COVID, is really being able to become much more strategic about how we manage our finances. And it's become certainly from the course I teach, it was like an explosion of interest, where business owners are looking to talk to other business owners about what they're doing during this time to keep cash flow going, to keep staff, to keep expenses controlled and things like that, and not just for a month, but for the next short term and long term. So I thank you, because this is I wouldn't have been here if I wasn't introduced to the group. So
Thank you, Mary. We're very happy to have you part of our family business community. I don't think I've met you, Ryan. I'm wondering if you'd like to introduce yourself to the group.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm with Gateway Business Brokers, and just looking. I came to a learning lunch it was winter before COVID, and have just been receiving the emails and been quite interested in the association. Our specialty, our focus is business owners making transitions, valuing their business and looking for the right buyer. So I think we're we're a family business. I'm not the owner in the broadest sense, and probably mostly focused on the advisor role for those who are considering a transition or looking to build the value from the point of view of capitalizing on it during an exit, or for financing, or for whatever that need may be. We analyze and value businesses, and then we help find the buyer and sell them. So I'm just here to kind of check things out and see if there's a good fit, and say hi to everyone. It's great to hear about it.
Thanks, Ryan. It sounds like it's an excellent fit. I'm just thinking of a lot of members that I work with that I know that could definitely benefit from your services. So maybe we can chat a little bit more offline on how we can let our members know of your business offerings.
Great. Yeah.
We have Debbie and Carol on the line. They are two of our newer family business members, and also members of our newest peer group as well. Both of you guys have been really engaged, and we're very happy to see you guys online. And we're looking forward to meeting you face to face finally at our next event. Hopefully we will see you at we'll see all of you at our October 15th awards luncheon, where we're going to be honoring and celebrating three members who have really contributed much to the business community. Does anybody else like to say anything before we wrap up? Hi, Tina.
Hi. It's Tina. I'm representing, well, I'm not asked to represent. I am representing TD Bank Group, and I wanted to jump on because we've been a long-time supporter of the association, and we so applaud the connections and the material and the opportunities that are given. The webinars that you created were just one of the simple things that TD was able to support. And of course, the Peter Wilson dinner is a great place for us. But for those who don't know the power of the connections, the Family Business Association really gives you that. So I encourage all of you to take advantage of the networking and the connections. And thank you so much for being able to bring so many like-minded people together, because it makes such a huge difference, especially in these trying times. And if there's anything that we can do with your banking services, please let us know. We're happy to offer what we have as well as advice. Or if you just want to chat, I'm happy for that too.
Thank you so much, Tina. Tina was part of organizing what was a very educational webinar with Ali Musadi, Vice President of Commercial Banking, where we really discussed what's going on with the economy and what the outlook for our local economy is. So if you're looking to learn a little bit more about that, please go on our website and you can watch that webinar with TD Bank. Well, with that being said, I'd like to wrap up unless there's any other questions. Being mindful of time, we are approaching 10:30. I'd like to thank you all so much for attending, and hopefully this has given a great overview of the value proposition of being a member of Family Business Atlantic. We did send out our renewal letters by email this year. So if anybody has any questions as to how to become a member or how to renew their membership, please reach out to Michelle and we'd be happy to help you with that. Finally, I'll just close on saying that we're really excited about a new initiative. For the first time ever, we are going to be hosting a online holiday gift auction. You know, with COVID, like many associations, we've had to think outside of the box on how to raise funds for our association being a non-for-profit. So we decided to do a holiday gift auction that will not only help to raise funds for our association, but it's also going to be a great way to support local. We are going to be promoting and supporting local businesses on this online platform. We encourage everyone to buy from a local business for this holiday season. And of course, with COVID, shopping online is going to be a very safe environment to do so. So please consider providing a donation for our auction. It could be in a form of a product, a service, or a gift certificate. And of course, all in support of local businesses within our community. And as a way of thanking you for your donation, your company will be recognized with our online auction platform, through our website, through social media, and of course through our newsletter there. We'd like to receive donations no later than November 20th. We are going to be starting the online bidding from November 23rd to November 6th. So please encourage to join this. Shop for your loved ones, and if you again would like to donate, please contact us. Well, thanks again for joining our webinar. Have a great rest of your week and happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Amine.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you,
Great to be here. Thanks, everyone. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.